Spectre, which is this ship here. Now the Spectre, all the heavies, at least that I've played, have some sort of head tracked as their main weapon system. So this one has head tracked flak cannons, which you can see just in the middle of the screen here. You can see the guns just on the bottom. Now when you're in the cockpit, which you see as your blue little cockpit there, when you're flying the ship you can actually see your guns if you look out to the left and to the right. The guns will track whatever direction you're looking at, including behind you. So if your target is flying along and looks behind you, and flies behind you, if you swivel in your chair and you look behind you and keep firing, your guns will keep firing, which is a handy weapon system. Most of the other ones, more so on the fighters, there are a lot of fixed weapon mounts, so the ship will fire in whatever direction you're looking at. You look forward, it will shoot forward. You fly up, it will shoot up. So Spectre. So Spectre is a heavy. As you can see, it's a lot more. It has a lot more armor. It has a lot more shield. It's kind of average on the speed. This one has fairly low firepower. I'll go back into that in a second. Upgrades wise, it has an armor upgrade and a shield upgrade, the same as the Banshee, just to help you survive that little bit more longer. Again, this is your first heavy. So the weapon system on the Spectre, as I say, is head tracked. It is a flak cannon, so you'll fire it off, you'll look in any direction, you'll see a target reticule, you fire it, it will fire around over whatever distance you fire it, and it will explode, and it will do a small amount on this ship, it will do a relatively small amount of damage to targets around that point as well. It has two other key points, as you can see here, a micro warp drive and an EMS. Now, one of the other things you get on, I think, as I say, all the ones I've got unlocked at least, yeah, on every heavy, you have a micro warp drive. Now, the same trigger on the support ships, the left back trigger for the buff beam on the heavies is a micro warp drive. Now what a micro warp drive allows you to do is actually, it gives you a very short burst of speed. It takes a few seconds to spool up, and then once it's spooled up, you will get a blast of speed from your engines and you will travel a significant distance. It varies from ship to ship, the kind of distance that you will travel, but it's great for zipping around the map. It does have a cooldown, so once you used it, you'll blast off in a particular direction. You'll arrive, it will then cool down, and then you will be able to sport it back up and fire it off again. You can use them very effectively on control matches, just to go from point A to point B to point C, and they are just very useful for escaping. So if you've got a great deal of attack fighters coming in on you, and you need to get out quickly, then using a micro warp drive is a useful technique. Zipping in and out of combat again is very useful. If you micro warp drive out of combat and the fighters are coming after you at a distance, it gives you a large space between your target and yourself that they have to travel and that you can shoot them in. So it is very useful for things like that. A word of warning though, if a fighter or any other object bumps into you, into the side of your ship while your micro warp drive is spooling up, it will abort your micro warp drive. You do get a blue aura around your ship just as you're prepping your micro warp drive for being engaged, and if anybody sees that and flies into the side of you, it will disengage your micro warp drive and you have to re-spool it up again. It is a technique that fighters use to kind of destroy heavies. It's typically, if they're using the micro warp drive, they're trying to get away from you because of the amount of damage that they're taking, or they just need to reposition. If you do bump into the side of them, as I say, you will cancel their micro warp drive. Now the other system that this ship has is EMS. Now on most ships you have some form of countermeasures. On the support before, it doesn't have countermeasures, it has the spider bots because it is a pure support ship. Now on this ship you have EMS. Now EMS, if you're being targeted by missiles and they're coming after you, or they're being fired at you, If you use your EMS before they hit you, they will not hit you, basically. They'll be disabled. It also has the added benefit that while your EMS is running, any targets that you shoot while in space, anything that's flying around you that you manage to hit, if you get consecutive hits on them, you will disable their ship. You will see like a short electromagnetic sphere kind of appear around the target. That is them stunned in space. So if any of your allies, if you're flying with any allies or anyone else in fleet, and they see that, they can go straight for the target. He's dead in the water. He will recover after a short amount of time. So it is very crucial that if you're using an EMP essentially on the target, that you do call out if you're with allies so that they can hop on them. An added side benefit of the EMP as well is that it will remove their shields. So if you do land a shot against a heavily shielded target and they are EMP'd, their shields will be removed completely, and obviously they'll be dead in the water. I